Hello Algebra 2 students, welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'll be helping you out remembering or memorizing the unit circle. Alright, so let me make this full screen real quick. If my computer is glitching, I will try my best to fix the video or like the screen. But yeah, just bear with me, okay? Alright, so when working on the unit circle, let me make sure I have the right color. I don't want red. Okay, got it, whatever. Boom. Let's go with the color that we're gonna see and make it a little bit, that's fine. Okay, perfect. Okay. When we're dealing with the unit circle, we want to start with the easiest points. The easiest points is here. It's called the unit circle. So at every part of the circle, the distance is gonna be a 1 because it's 1 unit, a unit circle, right? So right here, this point is gonna be 1, 0. This is 1, 0, 0, 1. -1, 0, and then 0, -1. Perfect, right? Next, I like to start with the inside. The inside is what to me feels the easiest because it's just going in order. Once you get that first quadrant done, I think you can do the rest. You start with 0 here. Whoops. Oh, come on. What happened? Okay. Let's see. Let me just fill this in real quick again. 1, 0, 0, 1, -1, 0, and then what was here? This was 0, -1, and then I got 0, and it finishes at 2 pi. So if it starts at 0, and it goes all the way around and finishes at 2 pi, well, the halfway mark has to be just pi. And then if I take this pi and I go half of it backwards, it'll be pi over 2. But then if I continue right here at this pi and I go half forward, well, I have 1, 2, 3 halves. So it's going to be 3 pi over 2. Whoops. So you see, this is where I said it was going to be glitching. So let me scoot it up a bit so I can write it. 3 pi over 2. Perfect. All right, the next thing is that I want to make my 3 lines here. Here you have your 3 lines. The center line is always going to be over 4. So right here it's going to be over 4. Whoops, why is it glitching right here? Let me see if I scoot it forward. It's over 4. This one's going to be over 4. This middle one's going to also be over 4. And then this one's going to be over 4. Perfect. So now I see that this one is going to be 1 pi over 4, or in this case, just pi over 4. Between the 2 and the 4 is a 3. So I'm going to put a pi over 3. So it's 2, 3, 4. I'm going to skip 5 and go to 6. So it's going to be pi over 6. Perfect. I know that the first quadrant is a reflection of the second quadrant. So that means that this pi over 3 means that right here, it also has to be over 3. This is pi over 6, so that means that this line towards the bottom is also going to be over 6. So this is going to be over 3 and over 6. And you want to follow the same pattern. The line closest to the pi line, or to the 0 line, whatever you want to call it, or the x-axis. The line closest to the x-axis is a 6. This is also going to be a 6 then. So it's going to be over, let me scoot it a little bit down. It's going to be over 6. Let me see if I can do a little bit better. Nope, it's not letting me. What the heck? Okay, let me see. Right here. Perfect. Yeah, over 6. And then the top one, the one furthest away from my x-axis, is going to be over 3. So that means this one's going to be over 3 as well. Over 3. Now let's fill out the fourth quadrant. The closest line to my y is a 3. So that means this is also going to be a 3. So it's going to be over 3. The furthest from the y is over 6. So that means this one has to be an over 6. Over 6. All right, now let's worry about the top. This is essentially going to be a -1, a +1, see, +1, So let's get started with the second quadrant. The second quadrant is -1. So 3 minus 1, that's going to be 2. So it's going to be 2 pi over 3. 4 minus 1 is 3. So it's going to be 3 pi over 4. 6 minus 1 is 5. So it's going to be 5 pi over 6. Now let's do the plus one. 6 plus 1, that's 7. 7. Whoops. Let me get rid of that right here. Let me scroll it down so that way I can write it better. 7 pi over 6. 4 plus 1 is 5, so it's going to be 5 pi. Oh, no, let me see. Let me scoot it up so that way we can write better. Come on. So it's going to be 5 pi over 4. 3 plus 1, that's 4, so it's going to be 4 pi over 3. Bear with me. 4 pi over 3. And then the last one, what does Mr. Salas get from 7-Eleven? He gets 5 Slurpees from 7-Eleven, right? Now, don't forget the pi. So in this case, it's 5 pi over 3, 7 pi over 7, 7 pi over 4, and 11 pi over 6. Okay? All right, we have successfully finished the inside. Now let's work on the outside. The outside, you just got to remember that it's going to be all over 2. So it's going to be over 2, comma, over 2, over 2, over 2, over 2. Again, I'm just doing them all over 2s. We'll worry about the signs in a bit. Over 2, over 2. Whoa, come on. It's glitching right there. Let me scoot it up so I can finish this. Over 2, over 2. You're going to hear me say over 2 a lot, so again, just bear with me. Over 2, over 2. Yep. Essentially, you're just building the circle. It's all going to be the same thing, okay? And I'm doing this here in real time for you, so that way you can see how long it takes for me to build a unit circle. Ideally, I can do it a little bit faster, but since I'm talking through it and I'm telling you my thought process as I build a unit circle, that's why it takes a little bit longer. But ideally, the unit circle should be done within 5 minutes. And then once you have everything over 2, you have 2 options. You want to go fix the signs, or you want to start filling out the top rows. I like to fix the signs first, because usually if I don't figure out the signs before I put in the numbers, I'll forget about the signs, and then I'll be getting everything wrong on the unit circle. So the signs are very important. I know that on my second quadrant, the x values are going to be negative, so I'm going to put a negative here, negative here. I know in the third quadrant, both are negative, so negative, 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 negative. Whoops. Negative. So, and then the last one, the y's are negative, 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 and negative, right? Okay, perfect. All right, I have my signs correct. So there was a student in my first period. Shout out to my first period student. I saw him putting the signs here like this, so that way he remembers what the sign was. So he said negative, comma, positive. He said negative, comma, negative. And then positive, comma, negative. You can also do that, so that way that helps you. Shout out my first period student. He knows who he is. I don't want to put him on blast like that in case you don't want to, but shout out to him. Here we go ahead and start filling up the top of the fractions. So I know that this is going to be like a clock. It starts at 1, 2, 3, but then the 3 and the 2 have a square root. Boom. And now I go backwards. 1, 2, 3, and the same thing. The 2 and the 3 have a square root, right? And these are ordered pairs, right? These are coordinates, so they have the little comma in the middle, right? All right, let's start with the next one. Remember, this side is a reflection of this side. So whatever I have here at the top, I'm gonna have at the top at the same time on the other side. So it's gonna be 1 over square root of 3. The same thing that I have in the middle, I'm gonna have in the middle over here. So it's gonna be square root of 2, square root of 2. Don't forget your commas, so that way you know that they're separate. And then the square root of 3 and 1, square root of 3 and 1, perfect. Now, this side is a reflection on this side, so the closest to the x-axis will be the same thing. So I have a square root of 3 and I have a 1, so I'm going to put a square root of 3 and a 1 here. Square root of 3, let me actually scoot up a bit. No, it's not working. Give me 1 second, let me scroll a little bit more down. Square root of 3 and a 1. Square root of 2, square root of 2. Don't forget the commas, by the way. And then, what was the last one? 1 square root of 3. You see? Perfect. And then the last one, this side is a reflection of this side. So if I have a 1 on top here in the numerator, I'm going to also have a 1 here. And I'm also going to have a square root of 3. This is going to be square root of 2, square root of 2. And then the last one is going to be square root of 3, 1. And that's it. That is the complete unit circle. If you have any questions, feel free to re-watch the video, slow it down, break it down, and then try to see if you can see any patterns that you might not have heard from me. Or if it helps for you to write down these things, feel free to write those down too. Good luck with your studies. Wishing you the best of luck on that final that you're going to have this Friday. Other than that, I will see you in class. All right, y'all. Have a good day.